We should start the podcast by saying congratulations on 400,000 subscribers. You did it.
I did it. Well, we did it.
No, you did it.
No, special thanks to you, mate.
I'm the only other person who's ever been on the channel as a sort of host-esque sort of person.
What I'm saying, we all know I like stewardesses, but what I'm saying is, to all the lads who've helped us come on, you know, all these guests, we've got to give credit.
Yeah.
People like Will and Nee, Cal Freezy, all those lads, Spencer, Joe, Ella, KSI, everyone, Jimmy, all me mates, all of them.
Nick,
all right, we don't have to name every single. They're all thanks, but I'm saying for you,
Podrick,
more than that, because obviously, best pal, aren't you? You helped us all the way. Helped us all the way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, me 400,000.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It is me, because do you know why? Because I remember thinking to myself, Boogie2988, when I first started watching him, he was one of the first YouTubers I ever watched. He had like 400,000 subs, and I remember being like, "That's mental." And now crazy. Now I'm there, and that. But the thing is, when you hit 100,000, that was a pretty big milestone. But
is it?
For me, it was because it was like 100,000. That was I get an award, brilliant. I get a plaque. I've got two. Yeah, I got one for the gaming channel, but that's died to death, hasn't it? Let's forget about the failures, onto the success.
Well, no, I mean, getting to 100,000 is still an achievement. Some people can't even get to that. Do you know what I mean? Some people are sitting out there like, oh, I've got 50. Yay.
No, I know some good YouTubers who, for whatever reason, it just hasn't happened for them. But terrible news. 400,000, the reason why that's big for me is because now the next goal
is what?
500,000.
Wow.
And I never thought, I believed in myself, but I never really imagined it. Do you know what I mean?
Now you've got to start visualising.
1M next to my name.
Yeah,
imagine that's the positive visualization.
That's such a long way away.
Yeah,
you've really got to think of that and think of that as a very long-term goal.
Not too long away. Hopefully not. A few more KSI interviews.
Let's just get KSI on 4 more times.
To be fair, pick the wrong time to retire.
We'll hit a million. Yeah, so annoying. Why didn't you do that exclusive thing on our show?
No, but he pretty much did though. No, he did. Let's give credit. He did that and then he kind of left. So he's doing us a favour.
Yeah,
thanks for that.
I think
you asked a few of those questions that made him think, nah, fuck this, I can't be asked with YouTube anymore.
I can't. All these white people, God, it's terrible.
All right, mate.
Yeah,
let's not make it.
There are a lot of white people on YouTube.
We asked a lot of racial questions last week. Let's leave that where it is.
You cut all those out. There are a lot of white people on YouTube, though, aren't there?
I mean, I've been pointing that out on the trending thing.
Yeah.
Just that it's the same old shit, not necessarily white thing. But I got on Drama Alert.
I saw that. Yeah. Is that something to be? I've heard that's something to be really happy about.
Well, yeah, because it's like a really big show, to be fair. And Keemstar sort of puts the spotlight on people, so hopefully he's helped out, you know. He called us Geordie, but I mean, I knew that I might lose subs, so I quickly changed the name to True Geordie, because obviously got to capitalise on those subs.
Good point.
That extra 1,000 was worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of changing things, mate, change the studio.
I did find that funny. I found it really. It's just so funny when someone goes, "Congratulations to the True Geordie."
Oh,
wait, what?
Do you know all Americans pretty much pronounce my name like that? But it's Geo.
You say it all the time.
Geordie.
You say it all the time.
What's going on, everyone?
It's
True Geordie. Back again. 400,000 strong now, motherfucker.
Just mimic the noise.
Yeah.
It's not hard. You know when someone teaches you Spanish, you don't go...
He's been watching for a while as well. That's the weird thing. He's been leaving comments for ages. But anyway, he watches a lot of YouTube. Let's not give him too much shit.
Do you think he just pauses the video, goes straight into the comments, and it's sort of like, what's going on every...
I DM'd him actually recently, and I was like, have you heard when YouTube's earnings will be restored to normal? Because I'm dying right now.
Yeah.
I'm down to a third of what I would, honestly, a third of last month.
And this place isn't helping.
Speaking of this, have we talked about this place?
No, we haven't, no.
New studio, old studio, but new to us.
Yeah. It is really old.
But the thing is, it's ours. Do you know?
Yeah.
I'm paying for things now.
It's our little bomb
We've got our own
shelter.
equipment. You sorted this gear out. Looking good.
This is the Aston Spirit. This is the best microphone for under £1,000 in the UK / world.
No more videos of me with a pop shield in front of my face the whole time. Now you can see the beard and all its glory.
Yeah, glory. So we've got that. We've got a new room which looks like the set of Saw 9.
Yeah, I mean, but I am paying for it though. That's the main thing. No more.
Well, the murderer in Saw 9 also paid his own rent.
Yeah. We could chain anyone up to a radiator in here and keep them there for as long as we want.
Yeah.
I might buy this place actually. I don't know if I could afford it. I don't think it'd be that expensive.
What, central London in a bomb shelter? This is going to be expensive.
Yeah, it's
right?
an antique.
Yeah.
So.
The thing is, you could bunker down in here when there is a war.
Well, if it all kicks off, I mean, the way Trump's going on, it could happen at any moment. We're all safe in here.
Have you ever thought about
Fantastic.
that? There are people that do that around the world. There are people who sort of
this just took a
stock
turn.
up on baked beans and all sorts of
Oh
things.
no, I love the doomsdayers. I don't know if you.
Why do you love them?
Because they are literally. It almost feels like when I watch the documentaries about this lot, and they've literally got a lifetime supply of Heinz in that attic and all that. And when they go, they're like, man, I tell you, one day this is all gonna come in handy. And like you can tell,
really
they'll be devastated if the world doesn't end. Because they're almost like they'll be like, one day you'll be like 75 and you'll be going into this thing going. Might not get to use this actually.
Thing is, if you get 75,
this might have all been. He literally spent $100,000 stocking up, and it might have all been a waste.
No, because the thing is, his kids will inherit it, and then his kids' will inherit it.
And then one
those
day,
beans will still be good. All right?
Oh yeah.
Still be great.
Preservatives, mate.
Yeah.
200 years worth out of those bad boys.
I actually know the guy who makes the labels for Heinz beans.
Mm-hmm. Fucking hell.
No joke. Yeah.
But yeah, new studio.
Not even the labels. He makes the glue for them.
Yeah. Because previously, obviously, things have been supplied for us, but now I get to say when, what, how, everything.
So you said 4 a.m. Let's go record.
I'm the gaffer.
4 a.m.
I am the boss. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's very late at night. It means that we can do other stuff in here as well. So
I got up fucking early though for this morning.
Why?
Well, it was a 10 a.m. start. I had to get down from Newcastle, so literally getting up.
I thought you were in a hotel.
Another Virgin Trains complaint while we're at it.
You should at them.
I get up.
Mobilise people.
Obviously, so I'm not. You can at Virgin Trains. I get up and I'm like, it's all right. I've got to be out the door for about 5ish.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get a breakfast on the train.
Great.
They serve breakfast usually. You see.
After consistently learning that that's a bad idea, you think I'll get.
Well,
but
the breakfasts aren't that bad. They do like a little cobbled together full Englishy sort of thing, and I'm like, do you know what it is? It's not great, but on a train it'll do.
Is it warm?
It is hot. Yeah.
Are you in first class?
It was. I didn't pay for it.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway.
So you're not paying for all your own stuff.
Not
all
everything.
Right, yeah.
You know, if
stupid,
people offer a train ticket
why
for
would
us
you?
to do something else while I'm down here, join it in.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So
I look at the woman. She comes past and she's like, "All right, there. Can I get anything?" I'm like, "Are you doing your breakfast? Because they always do them." Oh, not today. It's a bank holiday. We don't do them. All right, so because it's bank holiday, I'm not fucking eating.
Is that what you replied?
I was like, no. I looked at her and I went, "Good job. I fucking you've got the banana there. I guess I'll have that then." Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh no, it's a bank holiday. It's just a display banana. It's a bank holiday banana."
A banana and a yogurt. But the thing is, I'd worried that this might happen for later because I do get hungry throughout the day.
I'm aware of this.
And I told you I had that couscous.
Yes.
So I got a little carton of that, and I was like,
right.
fucking 7 a.m. I'm having fucking couscous.
What's in the couscous?
Vegetables and stuff.
Vegetables, bit of coriander.
People are saying I've lost a bit of weight lately, so
It's all the couscous.
it's all the couscous. I literally have a beer almost every night, so I don't know how that's even happening.
Yeah, but a beer is not
stress.
Stress. Is a beer really gonna? What? Do you have one beer? You can't stop at one beer, can you? You can't go. That was a lovely beer. Time for bed.
I do literally drink most days, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not an alcoholic or anything. I just like to have a pint or two, maybe 3 of a night. I'm just to
settle the nerves.
Just chill, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you feel? I feel like you'd be better off in America, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you would just be swilling Budweiser all day if you were in America.
Well, if they could get me name right, maybe I'll go over there sometime.
Or you could just change your name to Geordie.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is with Geordie. It's so funny.
Hey, Geordie. Fuck's sake, that really gets him.
First of all, it's my two favourite things. It's someone else making a mistake.
And me.
And it's... that's 3, right? It's someone else making a mistake. It's wordplay. And it's pissing you off.
I love wordplay.
It is funny, though.
Keem tweeted us afterwards, before the video even went out, and went, "Look, I know I fucked up. I've just realised." So he didn't.
How?
I don't know, man. He's got a lot of... He's too busy putting PewDiePie in most things. He's not used to saying anyone else's name.
He's just busy, yeah.
I haven't put PewDiePie in anything yet, so that's on the to-do list.
And the weird thing is...
The next What's Trending...
You use Zoella.
Yeah.
Zoella's...
Well, she trends all the time. The thing is, on the YouTube thing, they put in all of the favourites.
Right.
Or all the ones who are maybe owned by YouTube in one way or another. I don't know how to put it, but you know what I mean.
I see.
They have a vested interest.
Right.
So PewDiePie isn't in YouTube's good books, you know, he's a bit of a rebel, they probably want to topple him as quick as they can, I would imagine.
Is he really a rebel?
He's in a position where he doesn't have to take anyone's shit. I envy that. I really envy that.
The problem is
that's the one thing I hate about life. It's just literally having to
take a shit.
Have to deal with people, really. Because before YouTube, I never really did.
You were just telling me earlier how you did all the time, but what you used to do is you say that's a PP if anyone ever.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's a good rule of thumb. If anyone else is pissing you off, and they come to you in your job or whatever, and they go, "Oh no, but you see, you've got to do this," and it's not your job to do that, you go, "No, that's a PP." Personal problem,
right? And they go,
"Not one of mine."
PP.
Yeah. So use that. Hashtag PP.
Yeah.
It's a personal problem.
I imagine it means PayPal or
not
postage and packaging. That's P&P.
But yeah, well done on the microphones.
Thanks.
Well fucking
I like how
done.
you're trying to bring it back to the bit where we were giving you credit. So they look great. They're English made as well.
I like English. Buy British. Do you know what I mean?
I learned a lot while trying to find these, so I would tell you, but
I was really impressed with how much you knew about all the equipment and that.
Yeah.
We'd be fucked if you weren't here. Like, have I given you credit for the 400,000 yet?
No, in the old take, but it doesn't really matter. Like, it's called the True Geordie. Yeah. He's my guy.
Credit to everyone, though, for getting us to 400,000.
Spencer,
Jimmy,
Nick.
I'll say Jimmy for you because I know you'll.
Jimmy Conrad. Jimmy Conrad deserves special because he came on at his peak.
No, he didn't.
What?
He didn't. His peak was when he was actually playing. This is his swan song.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Anyway, let's give. I want to say a special thanks to Will.
Yeah.
Will is the only person to be on twice.
No, Calfreezy.
Oh yeah, Calfreezy as well. But Will's like me, sort of Geordie boy, isn't he? He's sort of brother.
Yeah. But he's sort of sold out now, so
a little bit.
It's probably best we just don't have him back on for a little while.
And you.
And me, your other Geordie boy.
My sort of Bezzy pal.
Do you ever think about what was said on that podcast with Will?
No.
I've
got no guilt at all
towards that girl.
Let's not bring that up anymore.
All right, okay.
Because I've been told it's made other people's lives difficult since that podcast.
Wow.
So let's just
but also that shows your influence. That's probably a great marketing thing. You could take that as
I can make or break people. Yeah. I can destroy lives.
Just one tweet. And Ladbrokes.
Well, the thing is, before
to
be fair, in my regular personal life at home in Newcastle,
you can break people anyway.
Before the True Geordie thing happened, people were always a little bit wary of me in case I sort of started on them or whatever. Which I'm not that type of bloke.
That's a bit weird, isn't it?
I'm not a bully, but when people look at us, they think, "Well, fucking hell, I wouldn't like to get on his wrong side or whatever." But now it's worse because now they're like, "Fucking hell, he could beat you up, or he could ruin your life and just fucking tell everyone about you on YouTube and all that." Like people get a bit wary of social media people. Yeah. I think they're a bit like. He puts so much out there, he would think nothing of putting my whole life out there. And I wouldn't.
Yeah. No, it's a really good point. Have you ever thought about what you do in public, though, and how ridiculous it is?
It is. I was listening to an Eminem song the other day. I had the old Marshall Mathers LP on. You know, I like the old ones.
Do you have an LP? Do you have like a record player?
No, it's got it's called the LP, but it's in this. I
was just checking if you had it on.
He says in the song, I'm only giving you things you joke about with your friends inside your living room. The only difference is I've got the balls to say it. And I just listened to that line and I thought that's what I'm doing. So that's my channel.
I'm True Geordie.
That's all I'm doing. The real True Geordie, please stand up.
And then you sat back and you thought, that's me.
Except
True Geordie.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man.
Oh, man. That still makes me laugh.
Hashtag True Geordie.
I watched it back when he said it on there. It's like, next up, True Geordie. I was like, brilliant. I know. It's just so funny because your face pops up and I'm like, oh my God, Brian. And then he's like, next up, congratulations to True Geordie.
Do you know this would be way worse if I was like, I don't know, like 5,000 subscribers just desperate for a shout out and you finally get your big shout out and there it is. Gets the name wrong. Oh, there inside paper, pull a daft face.
Yeah. Oh, old picture. Is it?
So what do you want to talk about this week?
Well,
I'll tell you what I'd love to ask you about, if this is all right. A lot of people have been asking. You haven't updated me for a while. Your housemate. You've kind of briefly mentioned something that I think we should mention.
He might have a gun.
He might have a gun?
So he might have a gun because I went to the kitchen the other day because I heard a big crash and I was like, oh.
He's got a gun?
No. Well, I don't know. Right. So what happened was I was in my room and I heard a big crash and I was like, oh, what if someone's come in the house or something? I'll go out. So I'll go out and I'm like, right, ready. And then I walk in the kitchen and he's just banging things around like he normally does.
Lawrence, you went in the kitchen like that, did you?
No, well, obviously not. That would be stupid.
Come on then. Where are you?
Are you ready?
Huh? Who wants some?
Yeah.
You look like, do you know before you have a Street Fighter fight? Like the pose beforehand? Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I went into the kitchen and he was not in a good mood. And then
surprised me.
I sort of said to him, it was quite loud. I thought someone was maybe breaking in. He went, no, if someone broke in, I'd shoot them. And I went, how would you shoot them? And he went, with my piece. And I was like,
does he mean his piece, his dick?
What? When was the last time that you heard, and the robber was fought away by the man's penis?
I mean, I bet you it's happened before.
You know what? You could probably really torment a robber with a penis.
With a dick. So, did he seem serious when he said he had a...
He didn't look me in the eye, you know? But then people who own guns don't have to look you in the eye to own them.
He's American.
And that's what made me think.
So in America, it's a lot more common. Yeah. He's also religious, isn't he?
Yeah, but I don't think religion bans guns. Yeah. If anything, I think it's encouraged. No, I don't know. So I don't think...
Oh...
the problem is, I don't have a problem with someone owning a gun.
Really?
I mean...
Even for a left-wing cuck?
Well, I don't think they should be allowed to own guns, no. But I think...
A lot of people have been saying we need to call at least one podcast a left-wing cuck.
Did you see...
all right with you?
Did you see... Well, it'd be fine with me, yeah. Did you see...
Because you're not one.
Steve Bannon was called a cuck by Stephen Colbert.
Who? I don't know who either of those are, so
Steve
enlighten me.
Steve Bannon's the extremely right-wing guy who was in the backroom staff of Donald Trump's administration. He's been sort of manoeuvred out.
Phased. I phased you.
But yeah, as I thought, I phased you.
I phased you.
That is how Donald Trump did it. And then Stephen Colbert, you know, the late-night TV talk show host, called him a cuck. And it was brilliant. Yeah. Because right-wing people, it turns out, don't like to be called cuck.
That word is gaining a lot of power.
Traction.
It's one of those words that just comes into pop culture and just...
Yeah, it's a real pop culture word right now, isn't it? Cuck.
Everyone loves saying it. I've noticed that you've spun it on the right-wing lot lately and started referring to them as right-wing cucks.
Works really well.
Yeah, does that trigger them?
If you use right-wing words, it's like, you know, when in a movie, like there's a witch and her spell gets cast back at her, they're like, no.
So right-wing people are like witches.
Yeah. You know that guy I spoke about the other day on the podcast? He went all the way back to an old podcast to find the thread so he could get back to me.
How did he respond after listening to you?
He said something like, who's triggered now? And I was like, still you. I didn't reply. It was like 4 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah. And so...
loads of people were scouring the comments looking for Relentless.
Okay, we'll go back to the
He's almost becoming like the Neo of the Matrix in our comments. He's shaping the way he really feels like he's made an impact now. This will be a massive win for him in his mind.
In his tiny, relentless mind.
And by relentless, he is relentless. He will never stop replying to your thread, ever. On his dying day, he will be in a hospital bed, 75 years old, just typing the last few comments
still watching the podcast.
Up yours, cunt.
Yeah, still watching the podcast, and he'll just hear me go, I just want to thank Relentless, and he'll go, oh shit, and then he'll pass away, and he'll be gone, and it'll really piss him off that it. I mean, why is he named after an energy drink? Anyway, the point is, he might have a gun. Now, my question is, I don't know if he has a gun or not.
He has a child as well, like a little baby, and that.
Don't shoot the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't shoot the messenger either.
But accidents happen with guns. We've got some news stories to look at today, and one of them includes
an accident with a gun.
Yeah, should we get into that?
Yeah, go
now?
for it. Yeah.
Okay. A boy, 13 years old, shot himself dead live on Instagram by accident. Holy shit! You know what I mean?
Wow.
This kid here, a teenager.
Did it go viral?
Malachi Hemphill accidentally killed himself in his bedroom at his family home in Atlanta, Georgia. The footage shows...
It's not been shared though, has it?
He was live though, so I'm assuming the footage is out there because what they're describing is what happened. The footage shows his mother and his sister discovering him collapsed on the floor before they cut the feed. His mother Shaniqua, to find your 13-year-old son on the floor with a gunshot in his head, something you never forget. You never forget the image.
Wow, this one took a turn.
Yeah, so I don't know what he was doing playing around with a gun, but obviously
he's 13, mate. So, do you think people should be allowed guns?
I mean, this is a big fucking debate, and because Americans
that you won't touch.
You know, we've talked about Ike lately. Alex Jones, his old American counterpart. You can't take our firearms.
Wait, is Ike a bit like Alex Jones?
Well, they are friendly with each other, to my knowledge.
I thought Ike was more left wing and Jones is more right wing.
Oh, definitely, Jones is very right wing. But I mean, he supported Trump. But I know Alex Jones came out and did an interview with Piers Morgan like a year or two ago, and Piers Morgan was saying ban the guns, and something. And Alex Jones was like, 1776 will commence again if you try and take my firearms.
And was that when?
Nailed it.
It was actually very good. Was that when they got independence?
Right. So he was saying that we will. The whole thing is, the reason American citizens have the right to bear arms is in case they are controlled by a tyrannical government and they need to rise up against that government.
Shit, it's really getting close to that, isn't it?
Well, is it though?
Well, the irony is they seem to have maybe one of the worst governments they've had in years, and they're not. This is the one that they talk about rising up least.
Well, to me though, if the government want to be tyrannical and they want to take control of the people, and like
you can have as many guns as you want, you're fucked.
There's nothing you can do regardless. So that argument doesn't really hold up for me. If that is the base of most people, I think most people, the way they're looking at it is guns are that rife in America. If an intruder gets into your house, you need something on you to fucking look after yourself. And Chris Rock says the reason why I hold a gun is so I don't have to go to the gym. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can defend yourself a lot easier with a gun than you can fucking fighting.
Yeah, but then why not just create a society where you don't have to defend yourself?
Yeah, well, obviously that's going to be America are a long way off that.
Yeah. Why? Because it's sort of gotten a little bit out of hand.
America are a violent country. There's just no fucking two ways about it.
They dropped a bomb the other day. It was sort of like the biggest bomb they had that wasn't a nuclear bomb. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was on ISIS, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it was
Allegedly.
I don't think they just went, that's a bomb for ISIS, and then just got the
like
ISIS
Santa.
bombs. Yeah, go and get ISIS, all right? And then it just went, see ya. Oh, okay, it's gone. And then it also killed a lot of other people.
Do you know? I know a guy.
That'll happen in war.
I know a dude who's it was in the Air Force. I mentioned to you before. The old guy, likes a good conspiracy theory.
Was he the
Yes.
Yeah.
And
but
he was a pilot in the Air Force, and he got out of that because he didn't want to be the guy to drop the bomb.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being
Got into the Air Force for what reason?
Well, I think he wanted to learn how to fly.
Top Gun.
Well, yeah, everyone's seen it.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Top Gun. Top Gun was a great film.
Top Gun actor.
The thing is, I didn't realise it's quite a big gay film.
In what way do you mean?
In that a lot of apparently it's quite an iconic movie in the gay community. I
like the way you've described that now.
So
you don't mean in an derogatory way.
No, I don't mean wow, that movie's gay.
Yeah.
But as a kid, you don't watch the interstitial scenes. You sort of wait for the other bits. So when they're having the chat, you sort of go, yeah. So, and then when the planes come back on, you're like, I went to, and then you're back into it. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't realise until I watched years later.
How's it gay?
Well, there's just a lot of undertones of sort of homosexuality, apparently. And if you get them pointed out, it's sort of... Yeah. I mean, it's not a problem. It's just that it sort of changes the vibe.
Homoeroticism? Is
apparently,
that what they would use to describe it?
Which obviously is great for some people, but it's not what I'm not watching a film about planes for that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny how certain communities take on certain things that aren't initially theirs. Like, I don't think they made Top Gun with that in mind, like, this community is going to love that film. But it just gets claimed somehow.
Apparently it was for enlisting people, though.
Well, definitely. Ultimate tool of propaganda. I tell you what, I was seriously considering a career in the armed forces when I was, like, 19.
did you feel like you were at a lost end?
I was totally lost completely, and I just thought to myself, I love fizz, I love like running around, swimming, and I love weightlifting. And a lot of my mates had went down that road and it seemed to be doing all right. And career-wise, I've mentioned it before. I was just at a this was before I ended up in diving.
A horrible crossroads.
And I went to talk to the careers guys and that, and I sat down, and they were like, we think you'd make a good army officer.
So, Brain, tell us why.
It's gonna be this way the whole fucking.
What? How would you class yourself? Well, I'm an avid Geordie.
Well, yeah, I was looking into which way I would go, because there was like Navy, obviously the Army,
straight, gay.
Yeah, and Army officer was.
I don't
what
mean
they
that
were
about
saying.
the Army and the Navy.
Kinky. In the Navy, you can sail the seven. No.
Why do they have that connotation?
Well, this is what I'm saying.
Right.
Well, the Navy.
Yeah.
I just think it was that song that gave them that, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure that they had a reputation.
It's
before
not all
that.
the armed forces though. It's just the Navy that gets that little bit of grief for that song, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because the Air Forces don't and the Army don't. Why?
So, anyways, I'm in the fucking careers office.
Yeah.
And ironically, someone was talking about YouTube when I was in the.
You're joking.
When I was there, like this was when YouTube was like
makes sense.
Putting your pets tricks on.
Sure, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I remember being like, YouTuber, mad that, and then literally, and I'm like, so anyway, Marines or Army officer. That was.
Do you think you would have made it in the Marines?
Well, no. Ultimately, I wouldn't have, because I, like I've already admitted, hate being told what to do.
Yeah,
and that is a massive part of being in the armed forces.
Do you ever think, though, that's just part of your identity and you could just have that broken down and whoop?
Well, they do break you down, but they break you down and rebuild you into the good soldier. But at the same time, some people, they get broken down and they think, fuck this, mate, you can get fucked. And I think that's exactly the school of thought I would have been in.
Do you really think that, though, or do you think maybe you would have just submitted to it because you're like, what a cool life I'm going to have?
Well, no, the vast majority of lads I know in the armed forces all say the exact same thing.
It's shit, don't do it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's exactly what they all say. Everyone. And I know lads who've been in the Marines 10, 15 years, Army, the same. And they go in there and they are sold. Like you say, they put the movies out to get you interested in it. And when you're watching Men of Honor and We Were Soldiers and all, well, not Men in Black.
Ghostbusters.
I mean, that was the best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
But they sell you this sort of image. Like, so I went for a meeting.
Sorry, I just thought about what would happen if I worked at the Army Careers Office. I go, now, you can be in the Army, the Marines, the Navy, or the Air Forces, or if you follow me through this door, you could be one of Men in Black. I fuck with them. I just fuck them and just see. And
no, you would say, no, I'm going to go through this door right now. If you join me in here, I'll take it as you want to be part of the Men in Black. If you don't, then another person will come out in 5 minutes and you will be seen. Yeah. And you would literally just sit there in the coffee, like in the coffee room in the back, just waiting for them to come through, going, get out, go on,
get
out.
They do.
You're not
good enough for the Army, you fucking idiot. Get out.
Men in Black. That's a movie, you stupid cunt.
Yeah. Whereas Full Metal Jacket was a documentary. Moron. See ya.
But anyway, you get sold this image. I went down to have a meeting with loads of other lads, and I was so seriously into running and all that. And like I was talking to all these other lads who were going to go into it.
Love running.
We were training, and I was like, I think this is what I want to do.
Were you part of the Nike Run crew?
And the guy comes in, and he's got all his medals and all that shit, and he goes, "We know why we're all here, lads." He was a Marine officer or whatever.
Your voice at the back of the room. Why?
He goes, and I'm not even shitting you. That's what he said. He goes, "We're here to kill people and to fuck women."
Brilliant.
There was another woman in the room who was also part of like the army or whatever.
And she just went, "Sorry, I'm a lesbian."
No, well, to be fair, she did look like she might have been more inclined to women. But anyway,
right.
And I remember just being like,
can't stop yourself,
in my head when he said that, I just thought, fucking right, I am.
Yeah.
Like in my head,
I am.
as a 19-year-old bloke, that just sounded fucking great.
Yeah. You went, yes, I was originally here just to kill people, but
now you sold it.
Your eyes rolled around.
But as a 19-year-old who played a good few too many Call of Duty games and Battlefield,
you love those.
And obviously I was already balls deep. I was just thinking, I mean, I think I might have found what I'm supposed to do.
Continue this lifestyle? Yeah. And I'll get paid for this?
But I soon realised when you were getting barked at and all that, I was like...
what, they're like, ruff, ruff?
No. Like, I just thought, I'm going to have a while to think about this, and that's when I found diving. But I think if I'd gone down, I'm man enough to admit, my personality type just would not... I could be the officer...
Yeah, but you got to work hard.
But you still eat shit even as an officer at times. You still get grief. And what me mates have told us is, you know, you're not appreciated in the armed forces.
Oh, what makes you think that?
No, they don't get the credit they deserve.
No, they don't.
Because we're not in a wartime anymore. People look at people in the army not as, and some people still see them as protectors of. I certainly do. I think that a lot of them go in there with the right idea.
We're not in a home time, wartime.
Yeah, they want to look after the country. They want to do something good, and some of them just can't get a good job. So that's the road they go down, and that is what a lot of my mates did.
Yeah.
But
the country's not here, it's in Afghanistan.
Yeah, well, anyway, but they're not valued, and the equipment, some of them have told us, like, the equipment's shit, you know, you're over there, you're getting fucking shot at, it's not fucking glamorous, mate, do you know, it's not a movie, and, yeah, a lot of them, they regret going in there in the first place. Like, one of my best pals who I mentioned, on the diving podcast we did, Confessions of a Deep Sea Diver. Check it out if you haven't already.
Podcast number 10, is that?
It's one of the early ones. He said, I just joined the Navy to get me diving certificate so I could get the fuck out as quick as I could.
Genius. And then he was in there for the next 40 years.
But no, he got out. I think he did like 4 years, 5 years or whatever, and then got out.
Time.
Well, yeah.
Would you have thought of diving in the Navy?
If I'd known that was the way into it, I wish I had done it that way, because I probably would have been a much better diver for it, because you get so much more time and it's free.
I was talking to someone about scuba diving the other day. Yeah. It's actually quite cheap to learn.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm thinking of learning to scuba dive.
I'll tell you what, I will make a video with you taking you for a scuba dive.
There's a lake close by.
All right.
We can go.
Well, we can do the first one.
Yeah.
In a pool.
Right, yeah, you've got to, yeah.
Right, we'll do it there, because we'll get cameras that I can fucking take you in with. Yeah. And because I think you'll be addicted to it. It's the type of thing that you would love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're the type of bloke who loves travelling and exploration.
Yeah.
Underwater, you'll be a liberty. I mean, I really will have to keep you alive, because you'll probably be the type who'll just want to go off and explore and not even pay attention.
Yeah. Well, no, we'll pay attention.
You're going too deep. All right, calm down.
I've got one of them.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done. That's scuba diving.
We
don't use that in deep sea diving.
Oh, no, I'm learning scuba dive.
No, but yeah, we'll do it properly. Okay.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll do that then. Okay.
I'll take you.
Do I have to pay?
No,
sick.
I'll do it.
Brilliant.
We'll do it for a video. They'd love it. They're rubbing their hands in anticipation already.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll take my flatmate's gun and leave it at the bottom of this pool.
For some child to find.
Yeah.
Ideal. Then we'll have
another one. If you shoot a gun underwater, it's fine, isn't it?
Well,
it just stops the bullet.
If you watch James Bond, I'm not so sure about that. It seems to go pretty quickly.
Well, they're underwater bullets.
So other things to talk about. This was from a local paper who I'm not going to give any credit to because they've never supported me. Head-butted teacher received £98,000 after a classroom assault left her traumatised.
Finally. What happened to her?
Teachers are getting attacked. A northeast teacher, serious psychological injuries. How can
headbutted?
Well, yeah, but she only got headbutted. How seriously psychological is that?
First of all, who's the person who headbutted her? Could have been a terrorist.
It was a pupil.
Oh, right. It was a pupil.
Not a terrorist. It was in a classroom.
It was a pupil. Yeah.
It could be a terrorist.
Well, yeah, but then imagine if you've been in a class, you feel perfectly safe, and then out of nowhere.
I think one of the worst things that people who've been attacked seem to go through is when they're not expecting it to happen.
Absolutely.
And I think so if you're on a night out and it all kicks off, it's not quite as bad, but I think like as in you're more expecting this could go bad when you're in a bar and people are drinking, but when you're just getting out the car and something happens or
you're in a classroom,
that I think people find it worse.
Bullshit. So the problem for her is now she's always going to be expecting someone to nut her around
a Glasgow kiss.
Yeah. That's going to be sad. Why are you picking sad stories?
I don't, mate. Unfortunately, that's the only things in the news these days.
True.
This is quite funny. Doctors baffled by baby came to weigh 3 stone. I don't know if we can.
Is it a newborn baby?
It's pretty new. I think we can try and get The little fatty.
That's not a baby. That's a Cabbage Patch Kid.
The little fat. No, that is the little fatty.
Let me have a look.
Wow,
that baby is that a
so
girl?
huge. Yeah, it's a girl. I mean,
it must be a thyroid problem.
It could be anything, really.
Hormones.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, you literally just think she looks like she's about to be deep fat fried, doesn't she? She's just.
I think she looks like she's
disgusting.
deep fat fried from the inside out.
Disgusting.
Yeah, poor girl. She'll lose that. It's just her mum's just going. That's puppy fat.
Her parents in Punjab, India, have taken her to a doctor to try and help her, but basically they can't even get blood samples because of the levels of fat. Her skin is so thick that they can't even get blood samples. It's a struggle. Yeah.
That's rubbish.
No, that's what they're saying. I mean, look at the state of her, man.
What kind of needles do they have? Just get a bigger needle.
I mean, bloody hell, how does she eat? I mean, literally.
Well, clearly she eats very well.
I mean, no, but literally, bloody hell, mate, that is disgusting. That is actually disgusting.
But
what are you doing? At what point do you just to put your kid on a fucking diet?
Well, at what point do you just sort of go, kid's getting a bit fat?
I mean, are they feeding her like lard out of a fucking milk bottle? Do you know, like blended lard?
The thing is, right, if they are, they've just now got to make her not eat for 3 years.
They're saying it's not our fault. Well, you're the one putting the fucking food in her mouth.
No.
You daft cunt.
What? Maybe she's got extra fatty breast milk.
I mean, the mother is very normal size, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but, you know, anything could go wrong.
More problems with kids in the next story.
Oh, great.
Children as young as 4 are suffering mental health issues and panic attacks, anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. But that's the world we're living in.
What are we
Everyone's a victim. Do you know that really pisses me off now? All I see, right, is people on their Twitter accounts and Facebooks and all that, and everyone's going, poor me, I'm in such a bad situation.
I closed my eyes for a second there. I thought I could fall asleep right
now. And they're all going, all right, he's been working hard lately, has Lawrence, as we've mentioned. You didn't get much sleep last night, did you? No,
not for
me
good
neither.
reasons.
Anyway, everyone's a victim.
Yeah.
Have you not noticed everyone's moaning about things all the time?
Well, some people are
especially
victims.
Women.
Yeah, there's something called the drama triangle, isn't there? Where you're either a victim or a hero or a perpetrator.
Do you know what really annoys me when people put posts out going, some people need to do this and some people need to do that, and it's like, just name who the fuck you're talking about.
Come on,
have
Jack.
some balls.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Who?
No, but I've seen people like these victims of life. They're always whinging about everything's always everyone else's fault. My life's so fucking hard and da-da-da-da-da. We're literally breeding a society full of it. How about you get off your arse and do something about it?
Well, what if they are off their arse? What if they're having their jog and they're tweeting?
Maybe, but I guarantee no one jogging is moaning about their life at the same time.
I'm not moaning. So, do you know about the drama triangle?
No, tell us about it.
So, there's 3 positions in the drama triangle. There's hero, there's perpetrator, and there's victim.
Right.
And a lot of people take up one of these roles in their life.
So how they view themselves.
How they view themselves, but also what the problem is, you can shift in the triangle at any one time.
Depending on how your life's going.
Yeah.
This is very interesting, actually.
It is actually, yeah. So it's interesting because some people obviously take up the victim role and some people very easily inhabit that role, and other people will very easily do stuff to them, or even if something's not done to them, they'll still see it as being done to them. Then there's the people who are the heroes who think they can just go around helping everyone, and they just want to get in. They sort of want to. They're a bit annoying sometimes. They sort of want to get in everyone else's business a little bit. They feel like they have to help no matter what. That tends to be in the relationship. That does tend to be one person. So one person tends to be more of a victim. One person tends to be more of a hero.
Giver and taker.
In a way. You can, but the whole point is there's also the perpetrator. And at any one time, you could shift to be in that role. So if, as a victim, you're less likely to become a hero than you are a perpetrator.
What's a perpetrator then?
So someone who actually does something to other people. So if you feel like you've had something done to you, the most likely shift you're going to take is towards doing something to someone else.
So like when
you're so angry.
When Wizzy said he was cheated on and then he cheated on other people because of that.
He shifted from victim to perpetrator. And the whole idea is that once you identify the triangle, you move out of the triangle and you don't operate in any of those roles. And you identify when you do, so you can sort of be conscious of it.
I was watching a Joe Rogan thing the other day, and he was talking about, like, you need to view yourself as the hero in the movie that is the film of your life.
Interesting.
And he was like, so many people just become the victims in that movie, in their mind. And if you view yourself as that, that's all that's going to happen. You need to view yourself differently. You need to say, I'm not going to fucking put up with this shit anymore. But I know people, they literally talk about their lives. I'm a victim of circumstance. I'm a victim of life. Everything goes against me all the time. Those people are usually the people I cannot stand to be around. I literally look at them and go, you got the same fucking air in your lungs as every cunt else. Like, yeah, if you've got a life-threatening illness and etc., there's exceptions where I will say, all right, fair enough, you've had a hard run. If you've had Nick Yaris's life, mate, have a fucking moan.
But even he's not a victim.
But he isn't, because of his mindset. But what I'm saying is, even if he did, or if someone had a bad illness, they're entitled to moan. But I know people who are perfectly healthy and they just bemoan everything about
all
their life. I fucking hate those cunts.
But so
they just literally suck the life out of everyone else around them. Those negative people, do you know what I view them as? Black holes.
Right.
They're just black holes. Which you go near them, you're a friend to them, you're a husband, you're a child. They literally bring you down.
A lollipop lady.
They just bring you fucking down. I've been around those people before. Yeah. Those negative people, get the fuck away from if you can.
But also, if you have to be near one of those negative people, like maybe it's sort of, you're working with them or whatever, you don't have to fall into one of the other two roles that most of the time, if someone plays that role, most people fall into another role to sort of counteract that. So most people will either go, well, I'm the victim, so they go, well, I'll be the hero, I'll help. Or they go like you and they go, fucking hell. And then they become the perpetrator because you get angry with them and then you start doing stuff to them.
So when I'm around people like that, what I find myself doing is initially, I'll be like, I'll not realise that they're just negative 24/7. When you first meet these people, you think, oh, they're just having a bad day. So what you do is, oh, cheer up, man, it's all right. And, it's weekends now. You can go and have a good time on the week. Are you doing anything? And you try and pick them up.
A lot of bank holidays in May.
Eventually, like, I've been around people where I've, like, literally realised, like, fuck me, you never say anything positive, do you?
Yeah.
I've met people who, and this sounds a bit like, all right, Geordie, like, it's a bit obvious, but I literally have met people who everything that comes out of their mouth all day is a moan, is a complaint, is a negative thing.
Wow.
And I look at them and I just, like, you never get fucking tired.
And what do they say? Well, actually, it's funny you say that.
But eventually I just lose patience.
I am actually quite a tired person. I'm a victim of...
Eventually I lose patience with them and I go, I need to remove myself from this cunt's life completely.
But the problem is, right, that if you remove everyone all the time, then it's sort of, you have all these transient relationships. It becomes quite tricky.
I in my life, though, not for that reason, but I've gone, because I've had so many jobs, so I had my set of friends from school, then I had my set of friends from my first apprenticeship, and then college, and then back into the next job, and then in YouTube. I've had so many different, like, groups of friends. Like, I haven't really had, like, one constant mate the whole time. I just float from place to place,
which is good.
I'm a nomad soul.
A what?
A nomad soul. Like,
you sort of just keep moving.
I quite like that, though, because I meet new and interesting people and women all the time.
And do you think that serves you well? Do you think that makes
I like meeting loads of different kinds of people. It's definitely taught us a lot about life.
But do you think that's in the long run a good way to be?
I think that there's a flaw with my personality that I've known that's been there from day one.
Wait, what?
Boredom. I get bored easily. I've always been this way. So it's not with any one thing. So it's with everything. So even in things I'm interested in, whether it be like computer games or
podcasts
or YouTube or anything, things I love. Food. I still need to vary it. Sex, I need to vary it. I need to keep things varied.
What do you vary in
variety.
Sex? Do you vary the recipient?
Everything.
Right.
Everything. I need to keep things every way. But then if it's something I'm not interested in...
You ever just fuck the air?
I've fucked my hand enough. But I just get a bit... In life, what I mean is, like, at school, same shit every day, bored shitless. Work, same shit every day, bored shitless. Like, I changed jobs a lot, like, and it was something that was...
Stop changing jobs.
They say it's an Aquarius thing, apparently. Like, when I've told people what my star sign is, I go, that'll be why you change jobs all the time, because Aquarius do.
Aquarius.
Yeah. Apparently they get bored easy, and I'm fucking, like, a textbook version of that.
But are you also quite social?
Oh, well, of course I am.
But you also like your own space?
Of course I do.
Wow. That's deep.
Do you know someone who's a bit like that?
No, I'm just describing very broad things, so that it sounds like I'm looking at an Aquarius.
But someone said to us before I did all that that's what I was like, but without even knowing me that well, and I was like, all right.
What else do you know about being an Aquarius?
Likes to be funny. Likes to be laughed at, apparently.
Laughed at or laughed with? Bit of a clown.
Yeah, class clown. Yeah.
I'm fire, you're water.
Yeah, I'm apparently an air sign.
Aquarius?
It's an air sign.
Wow, so actually you're supposed to fuel me. What happened there?
I do. I give you chocolate.
Yeah.
When you're tired.
I'm a Sagittarian.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Badass.
That's funny that.
Why?
Because I was told
be careful of them.
that my moon sign, because you have a sun sign and a moon sign and then a Chinese sign.
What?
That you have a sun sign, a moon sign, and then a Chinese year.
What's your Chinese year?
Apparently it's the tiger.
Ah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm a dragon. I got a fucking good deal in life.
Apparently my moon sign means that I'm Sagittarius moon. So what it means is that's me emotions, and that my emotions would make me a good partner for a Sagittarius girl who's a good podcaster with a Sagittarius male.
Man, have you ever met a Sagittarius?
That's as far as it goes.
I don't. Yeah, we've never. Do you ever go for Sagittarius women? What women do you ever check their star sign?
So my first 3 girlfriends, and this is just coincidence, because I only know this because it was the first 3 of them.
All of them were roosters.
All of them were Gemini. Apparently, flirty bitches.
They are.
They fucking were like.
But Gemini is the
two-faced cunts. It's cow bags.
Is that what they were?
No, actually they were all right.
And what's a Gemini?
Very flirty.
I'm going to look up Aquarius right now, and I'm gonna tell you what you are.
Okay.
So, do you want to know the positive or the negative?
Give us the positive first.
Right, Aquarius traits. The Aquarius born people are humanitarians to the core. Yeah.
People person.
They're a progressive and modern lot. Broad-minded and creative. Are you sure you're an Aquarius?
Definitely those.
Yeah. They are the real truth seekers.
The truth, motherfucker.
See how satisfied you are by this.
The true Geordie.
See how satisfied you are by that. Being affectionate and friendly by nature, the Aquarius born are very attractive and popular. However,
nailed it.
Their frankness can cut both ways.
Oh, a bit too honest.
Yeah, bit too honest sometimes.
Definitely.
Too bloody honest sometimes.
Definitely.
Within limits, it can be positive quality, but when it borders on the insensitive, it can really hurt people.
Yeah, I've been told
and alienate them from their friends and loved ones.
One of my other negative things that I'm really bad at is I'm really critical of people. So the thing is, with being able to break things down, that's kind of part of what I do now. I have to be able to see things a certain way and say it how it is.
You're quite destructive.
But I can be overly critical. So if someone makes a little mistake, I can hone in on it and blow it way out of proportion.
Brilliant.
So women can take a little bit of
heat.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for that.
Well, the problem is you're unpredictable.
I am.
And being unpredictable is another negative trait that works against you.
But women like that because it keeps them guessing what the fuck is he going to do next. Do you know what I mean?
You can get your personalised birth chart. Oh, sorry, I was reading the advert. Your lucky day? Do you want to guess what your lucky day is?
Yeah, tell us.
What is it?
I don't know.
What do you think it is?
Thursday.
No, it's Sunday and Saturday. Weirdly, they put Sunday and Saturday, not Saturday and Sunday.
Your lucky days.
Yeah, your lucky days.
Thursday is one of my favourite days of the week because it's when the weekend's just about to start, but it's not quite there yet, and you're like, oh, but I'm over the bullshit of the week.
Hump.
Champion.
Do you know what your lucky number is?
No.
It's a pretty good one. It's 4, 8, 13.
It's all 4,000.
No, 4, 8, 13, 17, 22, and 26.
Oh.
Yeah. So remember those. You know what your lucky colour is? Blue, bluey green.
I like them both.
Your lucky stone is opal.
All right. We've had enough.
Like the fruits. Now. And your lucky talisman is the key.
Alan Shearer.
The owl.
All right.
Yeah.
Wise old owl.
Negative qualities, unpredictable, detachment.
I do detach. What have I been saying?
Tendency to go off track. And inefficient.
I could literally stop YouTube out of nowhere and literally I delete all my channels, all my social, everything, and everyone would just be like, whatever happened to the True Geordie? And no one would ever hear from us again.
All that will remain is one video of True Geordie, it's my guy.
Unfortunately, I'll never be that rich, so you'll not see me doing a KSI anytime soon.
Compatible signs, Libra, Gemini, Sagittarius.
Well,
Aries.
I said Gemini and Sagittarius. Yeah.
Other famous Aquariuses?
Who?
Abraham Lincoln. There's good ones. Charles
Assassinated.
Darwin.
Dead.
Yeah, well, obviously. Thomas Edison.
Did he invent the telephone?
Did he do electricity or the telephone?
Oh,
Electricity, yeah. They've listed Charles Darwin twice. I get the feeling a Capricorn wrote this
All right,
one.
I mean, I'm bored
Franklin
shitless of this
D.
now.
Roosevelt.
He has a new news story for
Paris
you.
Hilton.
Me and Paris. She sucks a mean dick, so I mean.
Hey, there's one thing you got in common.
She's
and Albert Einstein.
That's one thing you've got in common.
Albert Einstein.
All right, well, we're both brainy. Me and Paris.
You and Paris.
Boy 8 drove sister to McDonald's after learning how to drive from YouTube. Did you hear about this?
No. I don't read the news.
A desperately craving for a McDonald's can force a person to take some pretty extreme action, Lawrence.
Yes, especially if you're 8.
One of which is to learn how to drive on YouTube because he was gagging for a cheeseburger.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, he took his
8 going on 50.
He took his 4-year-old sister in the passenger seat in his dad's van and drove to the nearest Mackie D's.
What? It was 54 miles away.
Unbelievable. Well, wait, how far away? It was just. I don't think it was that far away. But
so many questions.
But he literally stopped at the red lights and everything. Like he followed procedure perfectly. I can't believe it took me a few times to pass my driving test, and this 8-year-old's fucking flying. Unbelievable.
Hold on a minute. How did he navigate? Like an 8-year-old can't even see over the
He
wheel.
must have had a cushion on the chair or some shit. But how did he reach the
a
pedals?
cushion. That's going to help.
How did he reach the pedals? Did he have
exactly. Maybe his 4-year-old sister was the one pedaling.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. Do they have a Flintstones car? I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Right. Your dress sense has changed.
It hasn't.
Right. What do you think of fashion?
So, I recently discovered I can fit into clothes at normal shops.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? When?
So since I lost the weight from the football holiday.
That's
such
a victim.
A lot of people are like, yeah, he's looking in decent shape. He must be like dieting and training. No.
Just went on holiday with Lawrence.
And literally have never gained the weight back.
Yeah.
Even though like I have a beer every night and whatever.
Trying your best.
But I'm training harder than I have been. I am trying harder in the gym, but I don't know if that'll make any difference really. But yeah, it hasn't really changed. I just never knew I could fit into normal stuff.
What do you think of fashion?
I think it's a little bit over the top. I think
right.
I think like I did a YouTube video about what's trending, and there was a guy who was like, "Man, I only what was he saying? He went, I only shop in New York. I only shop in New York."
I saw that guy.
He was giving it that, and I'm like,
such a prick.
I'm like, you take yourself way too seriously, mate. Like you know, you can get some decent stuff in Primark. It's fine.
Yeah, but Primark's in New York.
Well, no, but the way he's obviously talking about high end fashion and that, and I think
why
when the fact that you're going to die one day, you know, means you shouldn't really take what you have on your body. That's it. Like, yeah, enjoy it. Buy a nice pair of trainers. But some people literally become obsessed with fashion.
Buy a pair of Yeezys, sure.
Are they Yeezys? Are they?
Yeah,
I don't know.
comfy,
I wouldn't know.
But you do take what you wear seriously sometimes. You clearly have recently because you started wearing those little liney shirts.
I've literally told you that I went into one shop
and
I got 6 T-shirts from that shop and went, they'll do me.
6 T-shirts, please.
It might seem like I'm taking it more seriously. I just fit the clothes now. It's fine. It was 2 shops and I bought about 10 T-shirts between the 2 shops. I didn't go far. It wasn't like I was going, well that no, I went, well that fit? Right, great, I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? Beggars can't be choosers.
Throwing them back to your personal assistant.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things have changed, but it's nice to be able to fit in normal clothes though.
Yeah. When did you realise, and what did you feel like when you realised you couldn't fit in normal clothes?
Well,
a bit like that baby, I suppose.
I used to love weight training.
What have you done,
So
Geordie?
at the time, I was like, because when I first started getting big in that, I was like getting extremely big. I thought, I'm weightlifting, it's fine.
Joe Weller size.
And I didn't really give a shit, but like obviously it was it's become a pain in the arse because sometimes you just want to wear something normal. Do you know what I mean?
You wear a little funny vest though.
No, but I hate the vests I wear. It's just the only thing that I used to.
They do look shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So, I'm glad you're wearing good clothes. I'm just thinking.
I mean, it's cheap enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, why didn't you get some new ones?
Yeah, it's just what they had.
Where'd you shop? Giacomo?
No, I used to shop at Giacomo, and I
Really?
really did. I was fed up with that.
Giacomo's so shit, isn't it?
It is. It's awful.
It's like Andrew Flintoff shops there.
No, but he's the sponsor guy. I mean, they really should have sponsored me, but they missed the opportunity.
It's a good point, actually. They would have.
No, I mean, I could have been great for them because he's like the clean-cut boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect, whereas I could have given them a bit more of an edge.
Do you know his podcast is pretty high up on the podcast?
I mean, for now it is, but let's be honest, man. If we stopped doing this on YouTube and just did all our stuff on iTunes, we'd probably be number one every fucking week.
Good point. We're giving it away, basically.
Yeah, we are. Saying. But luckily, the revenue on YouTube is better. So
I thought you said it was going down.
I mean, yeah, it's still better than iTunes, though. iTunes is garbage.
Oh, I didn't realise that. Where did you work that out?
Well, the fact that I've never made a penny out of iTunes yet, sort of.
Good point.
Does give it away, doesn't it?
Yeah, I probably should tell you about all those profits.
I know that you're making some. You could.
I put them in the Geordie bank account, though.
Put them in the true Geordie bank account. That's fine.
That cracks me up every time. I don't know why.
Nah, fashion is like yeah, I like when you see McGregor getting into his suits and all that. I'm like, yeah, I'd like a good suit. I like a good suit in general, or
style.
Yeah, or Kanye bringing his own stuff out.
Shit like that.
Cool, yeah. But like, I think when a regular person is like really obsessed with what they wear, especially men, I get a bit uncomfortable about it because I'm a bit like, how wear, mate? Like, girls into their dresses and all that. That's fine, but like. When I don't have any, like, I remember when I used to get a bit uncomfortable when one of my mates would be like, yeah, I got this for me, and I'm like, mate, I don't give a fuck where you got it from.
D&G.
Can we get another pint in?
Do you ever think it's a little bit weird when kids wear fashion stuff?
Well, this is a good topic to talk about because I remember at school there was like a big deal about what you had on because kids at school, if you're different in any way, they'll just hone in on any little thing. Yeah. So, like, if you to this, to that, to the other. But money is one of those things, and especially when you come, which is funny, but it seems to me like the poorer the area you come from, the more having better trainers matters.
Dolce & Gabbana.
Like, if you're growing in a middle class area in London, I don't think people would care as much. But in Newcastle, if you've got like the new Nikes, like that's a fucking like for me.
Those new ones?
In my school, it was a big deal. I remember like there was kids who'd be bullied to fuck because you could tell they just didn't. The family had no money and they'd get such shit. No, I never had that issue, luckily, because like my mum made sure I was going to school in fucking. But even then, it's like, what do I need? What do I need shoes to go to school for that cost 150 fucking quid?
Did you have to buy a pair of shoes for 150 quid?
No, my mum did.
Really?
Because I wanted to have the best fucking shoes.
What?
Because in my deluded little mind, I didn't want to be any less than anyone else.
What did they do? Did they look good?
No, they were just fucking. They were just shoes, mate.
Did you ever get
in a coat? I wanted a nice coat. It was all about not being any less than anyone else.
Was it a fur coat?
Well, it fucking should have been for the amount of money.
What I used to like was, Clark's.
Yeah.
Now they make the Wallabies and stuff, but back in the day they used to make those things where you could put your thumb on it and it would warm it up and it would change. It would show like a little picture. We used to. I'm
talking about when I was like 14, 15.
Oh, I'm talking about when I was like 7 or 8 maybe, and it was like the most desirable shoe to have in the playground was the shoe that you could put your thumb on and a little character would appear.
Yeah. When fashion became important to me, it was like 16, 17, 18 where I was going out and I just wanted to wear something that women would like. I didn't give a fuck about what I liked. I want to know what do they like and I'll put that on me.
So when did that stop?
Still hasn't. I really don't have. I wouldn't say like I've got things that I like to a degree.
Yeah.
But you'd never catch me in like I would say feminine clothing.
Yeah.
You'd never see me like wearing pink, for example. Do you know what I mean?
No, I haven't. You're right.
But to a degree, a lot of it is just like, all right, well, what will women think I look better in?
Do you not think this is a little bit fashion?
It gives that impression, but really you're giving us far too much credit.
Yeah.
It literally just fits.
It actually is just moth.
But I would like something that women will think I look better on. So I did have the odd tweet after last week.
What? Saying what?
Saying I look a little bit better after ladies.
That jog we took probably helped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever think that you just want to completely change your look and sort of go for like a goth or something?
No.
Right. Do you ever just think, fuck it, I'm going to dress like Matt Hardy for a week? Or Jeff.
Do you mean the wrestlers, yeah?
Yeah. Because I saw those guys, what I think is ridiculous is they came back. So they came back to WWE.
Oh, I've seen that, yeah.
I don't really watch WWE, but I like the Hardy Boys.
Well, everyone remembers
cool
that.
Back in they used to do like the ladders and everything. And then I saw them returning the other day, and they look 50.
No, they don't, man. I've seen that, man. They look about...
They look old.
They look older than they were. They're 40 now?
They look old.
No. So people age, Lawrence. I hate to drop this bombshell on you.
No, I know, but like if you
people
age...
do age.
Yeah, but if you age, then just... Don't be a wrestler. Do you know, like Hulk Hogan?
Wrestlers are the people who age like the most in front of the camera because it's not a competition.
Yeah.
It's a physical sport entertainment that you can continue doing until you literally can't be arsed anymore.
Ric Flair was the only one who aged well. Hulk Hogan.
Ric Flair did not age well. Definitely not.
Yeah, but his hair stayed.
His hair stayed. Yeah, you can get a lot of things done these days.
Compared to all the others,
his man
titties
really did develop somewhat.
Yeah. But that's always bad. Like when
Hulk
they get
Hogan,
old.
Hulk Hogan's another one.
Yeah, he developed into quite the.
He's had a very.
Shouldn't say anything about Hulk because he's all into suing people online.
Yeah, he's had a very interesting life. Has Hollywood Hulk Hogan?
I really used to like him as a kid. I used to watch his cartoon.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Yeah.
I am the real American.
Oh, no, I remember all that. Yeah.
Fight for the rights of. Everyone.
Now that's propaganda.
Oh, he was the ultimate American hero.
He was the ultimate American propagandist.
You know what I mean?
Imagine what he must have thought about that. Like, do you think he thought he appealed to mainstream?
Do you know something about? He's like a sex addict. Do you know that?
A sadict.
Apparently, he used to like share his wife out with like. Yeah, he invited a lot of wrestlers to share his wife.
The one who was in Hogan Knows
Big
Best.
fat tits on her high. That blonde-haired woman.
Do you think
I'd share his fucking daughter. I don't know about his wife. Like, give his daughter a Brooke.
What's
a fucking
his daughter?
Good right.
His daughter's called
Brooke Hogan.
Right, because I used to watch Hogan Knows Best,
and she had a music career in that. Yeah. He pulled a lot of strings to get that to happen. She did all right, to be fair. Apparently,
she became a wrestler for a little
bit.
But
as well. There's a lot of hunting goes on behind the scenes in the wrestling.
Yeah, I used to watch Hogan Knows Best. Hogan Knows Best. That was a really good show. And I used to also watch.
Did you hear about his son?
No, what happened?
His son was he was into his Fast and Furious impressions. He got in the car with one of his mates, and his mate ended up
dead.
No, I think he survived it, but he was paralysed. And then his son ended up getting locked up for that. I don't know if he was drink driving or something, but Hulk went to visit his son. He was phoning his son, and the phone conversations were leaked by like TMZ or someone like that, and like you could tell they were like totally unremorseful about everything that happened, and they were like, "We need to just get you out of prison." That's all. Like that's all they cared about. You know what I mean?
Well, they do need to get him out of prison.
Yes, but they didn't give a fuck about the guy who was sitting in a fucking hospital bed at all.
Yeah, I mean, what would you start and end every conversation like, "Hey, yeah, ooh,
yeah,"
God,
but they also
really sad
had
about that,
they also had conversations with his son later on after that, where his son was dating a black girl, I think, and
was that her name?
He was dating a black girl, and basically they had Hulk Hogan dropping the N-bomb.
Oh, right, okay,
referring to her in a really bad way
on the phone.
Oh yeah, he'd left like he'd phoned his son, and it was all recorded basically. Now there was a WWE girl called Paige who's still a wrestler now,
right?
And she's from England actually. You can see like some of the videos that she did there. That was her there, and she had a boyfriend who. So basically, there's a bit of controversy because she's obviously taken. She's obviously taken a lot of enjoyment out of this situation.
Which situation?
Well, her boyfriend nutted on her face, and it dribbled off her face and onto a woman's title belt. Now, this title belt is also being photographed on little children's shoulders while she's getting pictures with them. Now, I put a tweet out about this saying that kid's parents should sue with a picture of the title belt with all the cum on it, and then a picture of the kid hugging her and getting the title belt in his hand. She's literally, she's taking cum shots.
They're wiped clean.
I mean, you'd hope so, but there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
She might have just did a little tablecloth thing like, it's fine. And then, but literally, that is it on the...
I don't want to see this.
So anyway, can I just say, before we move on, She is the guy she's shagging.
Right.
She was
John
like
Cena.
she was training her arsehole, putting the dildo up her arse and like on video and then going, see, it's getting much better, and not like sending them these videos.
Why was this leaked?
Well, obviously he leaked them for whatever reason. But as it happens, that was her boyfriend at the time. He shared her with another wrestler. That guy there.
I don't want to.
That big black guy. So she has been shared around in the locker room. Paige enjoys getting around.
But maybe she wanted to be.
Oh, she definitely wanted to be,
okay.
judging from what I've just seen. But the fact, I thought to myself, it's pretty mad, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty incestuous world, isn't it?
Because she posted on Twitter saying, this was without my consent, this was private stuff. And then later on, she posted the song Human. I'm only human. How poetic.
That is, I mean, how would you express if your nudes leaked?
Some people got the real problem.
What song would you post?
If my nudes were leaked,
Stone Cold Steve Austin's music.
I mean, it's not. I feel for her because I understand you don't want to have that done, but at the same time,
it's those intimate moments, aren't they?
Intimate, you're getting shared between two wrestlers, pet. It's not really that intimate,
No, but it is intimate because it's sort of like, well, she's not said to those wrestlers, "Oh, share this online."
But when you get to the point where your boyfriend's recording you hopping on his mate's black dick, do you know what I mean?
Does it matter? It's a black dick.
No, but it looked a lot bigger than his. I'm just saying that's just the way it was. Yeah. And she's sitting on it. Why is he recording it? He's literally between her legs, just getting a close shot of it.
Why?
I don't know, but that's the point. What premise was this all done under? Was it, we're just going to have home movies, for Christmas?
Brings a whole new
bring them out at Christmas while we're having a turkey sandwich. We'll sit and watch them together. So when she was recording them, she must have had ironically, her current husband
coming to the ring.
Her current husband coming in the ring is
weighing 200 pounds.
Her current husband is also a wrestler, but not one of the two guys who fucked her on camera. So how must he feel right now? How would you feel if that happened? Do you know what I mean? Like maybe another podcaster, you were with a girl, and another two podcasters had gone twos up on, her. Put that out there.
That's such a terrible. Why? What? Sorry, who's she married to?
Some guy, I think it's called Del Rio or something. He's like his gimmick.
A shit one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, none of them are great. She really went through the C-listers of WWE wrestlers.
Yeah, I mean,
none of them are Hall of Famers. Do you know what I mean?
Cena,
Mick Foley, get Mr. Socko up, yeah. That'll be a hell of a fucking. At least go with one of the legends. I'm sure The Rock would give her a good say to.
No, The Rock's married with a kid. No.
I mean, I think The Rock just runs through bitches personally.
I think he maybe he could have back in the day.
I bet he did.
Trish Stratus.
Oh, she would have been. Oh, yeah.
Stacey
Keebler.
I don't know who that is.
Do you know Stacey Keebler was one of the wrestlers?
Chyna. That's the two female wrestlers
died.
I know.
Oh, she's dead.
Chyna died?
Yeah, she's dead. Yeah.
You're joking.
She's actually dead.
What? Why?
At least I pronounced that name right. Yeah.
It's not a hard one.
No. So basically, she had a lot of drug problems for a lot of years, and I don't know what circumstances she died in. But the way I remembered her was when she was doing stuff with Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, that was a good time, wasn't it?
She was all like bronze and muscular, but even though she was a really muscular woman, she'd had enough surgery on her face to where she'd gone to make herself look really like decent.
Right.
But then I think once she got let go by the wrestling, like she stopped doing weight training and looked totally different, and the surgeries continued. And there's a YouTube channel that she had where she vlogged every day, and like her final vlog is like literally the day of her death or the day before she died, and you can tell just looking at her like she just looks awful. Like, and I don't mean that in a ugly way. I just mean you look at her and you think, God, you don't look healthy.
Sad. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just think.
Very, very
this
sad.
person who'd been in front of thousands of people and
it's the hero of loads of people.
Well, you could go as far as to say she is like the greatest female wrestler ever.
Yeah, like
she got to a point where she was the Intercontinental Champion. Like she was beating men and making it look believable because she was so big and strong and athletic.
I remember that. Yeah, that was really good. That was a good storyline.
We've all seen like roided up women, but she was like she wasn't just another roided up woman. She was like, she's actually pretty good at what she did.
A roided up woman that could pretend to beat up men.
She was
and
good.
Wasn't she in like Xena Warrior Princess?
I don't know. She was good at what she did. I tell you what, funny story about her. She was actually she was with Triple H when he started. That was her boyfriend, and then halfway through, Triple H realised, if I'm gonna get with the boss's daughter, fuck the China off and get with the boss's daughter.
Because John Cena's just proposed to someone, hasn't he?
I don't know if that was real or fake, to be honest.
Oh, it's got to be real. Why not?
Well, it's funny because, it's always "You Can't See Me" with him.
Yeah.
Someone literally photoshopped John Cena out of it with her like looking down and saying John Cena never proposed at all.
Oh, that's sad.
I like that. I like those.
But I imagine that it would be pretty humiliating for a woman if WWE's had some pretty dark storylines.
WWE's been, I think the reality of WWE has been a lot dark. I know we've mentioned wrestling before, but there's some seriously bad shit that's gone on.
Yeah.
I think the Owen Hart death and things like that was really awful.
Well, that was happened in the ring.
Yeah, he literally fell like 50 feet, like mid-jump. And the saddest bit was like Bret Hart tried to talk him out of doing that, like before it, I think.
That is sad.
How they didn't, like, I don't know what financially happened, but like literally, like,
how Bret Hart didn't take that company for all the money it had.
Like, it literally should have been done for liability because they obviously,
maybe it was
the safety of his.
But maybe it was.
Well, it should have fucking been.
Vince McMahon's really done well, hasn't he? Vince McMahon must be a billionaire, almost a billionaire.
They copied the sort of Netflix model now, so they've got their own like network where you can watch all of the wrestling stuff on now.
Oh, I didn't realise that. Mm-hmm. I used to think WWE was a bit budget back in the day.
Oh no, they've gone
Not anymore though. The website used to be awful. The website used to be like you could go and look at all the profiles. It was terrible.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I ever seen to do with women naked was when the girls of wrestling.
That was the last thing I would have thought.
Used to get their like tits out because back in the day in the Attitude Era,
they used to do that strip thing.
Women like actually it was Brock Lesnar's wife, Sable. She used to run around fucking nearly bollock naked with like handprints printed on her tits and that. And I remember just thinking, because I was at an age where I barely even understood what was going on, but like I seen them and I was like, fuck me, they're massive them. Like,
but were they fake? I don't remember who she was.
Yeah, they were fake.
Okay.
She's blonde woman, big, huge tits, like Pamela Anderson type. But I just remember,
cool back at the
I must have been about 10 years old, 9 years old, and I remember just being like, I don't know what they are, but I fucking love them. Like, I knew what tits were, but I was like, I'd never seen anything so in your face before.
Yeah, well, literally.
So like my teenage years were almost like, yeah.
They were started by Sable of WWE.
Yeah, they were some of the first naked women I seen were the wrestling women when they used to get their kit off. Sable was like in Playboy. China did Playboy as well.
I suppose you just have to make as much money as you can in that time because you're not. It's not that you're going to retire and sort of become a. Yeah. What are you going to become?
Well, Stacey Kleber, she ended up with George Clooney for a bit, and then he sacked her.
What?
Sacked her off. He ended up with one of the wrestling girls, George Clooney. Yeah, but then he got rid of her. She was fucking hot though. She was a smoke show, that couldn't like.
George Clooney. He's now with some
other. That was the one he went with after her.
Wow, I don't even know who she is.
Yeah, should I pull a picture up?
No, but I mean that is.
Sure.
Wow, good for him.
But yeah, that's one thing that's died an absolute death.
Wrestling.
Porn. I'm talking about the magazine game. You know, like back in the day, to be a centerfold girl, like to be in Playboy. Like, to lads out there now, it means fucking nothing. But like when I was really young, I remember hearing about Playboy.
What's the equivalent now?
There's no
Instagram followers and stuff.
They did like a Nuts and Zoo like a few years back, but that collapsed. As soon as the internet came, magazines died and newspapers
and Zoo,
died.
Surely they would have gone online.
But it's done now. No one gives a fuck. Like,
you still have brands though, but big brands online. They just set up their own.
Because Instagram is here. Magazines and shit don't matter. Like, you have your own magazine. That is Instagram, and that like these girls words, though, like how I talk about like Iskra Lawrence and girls like that. Like,
who's that?
That blonde girl.
So is she the one you keep liking all the time?
Yeah.
So
she's nice.
Where's she from?
She's from England.
No. I mean, I'm not asking it.
What street? Because I can tell you.
No. I mean, like, where's she from?
I know her door number.
No. Where's she from in terms of like what she do? Like what's her thing?
She was a model like for a lot of years, to my knowledge,
Right,
and
okay.
I think she was like a swimmer, like a really high level swimmer, and then I think she'd been like starving herself almost for years because she's a very curvy girl,
Right.
or something like that. I don't know. I think she basically just changed her image to do what she wanted to do, because obviously she didn't fit the typical
Swimmer's
model,
image.
model thing.
And how did you roll across? Do you sort of search Instagram for women, or?
No, not really. I mean, they pop up, don't they? But I think early doors, I knew what I liked was like
Curvy women.
I like curvy women, all shapes and sizes, all colours, all of that. That's all good. But
Anyway.
but she fits what you would call a classic true Geordie
Your
girl.
bill. Wow.
Yeah.
So
Maybe we could use that. Maybe I should start posting pictures on Instagram of like True Geordie's girl of the day.
Please don't,
Why not?
because it's just the most awful thing.
I love how Lad Bible used to do that, and now they're trying to get away from that, and I'm like, yep, I'll scoop that up, no problem.
Would you?
I'm not ashamed.
Doesn't people like Philip DeFranco used to do that as well, didn't they? They used to do like.
But they all bottle it once they try to get brand deals and all that, and it's like, embrace it. Be who you are.
Yeah, but you can change who you are for a big brand deal. Do you know what I mean?
No, I've gone as far as I can go, pretty much. I'm stretching at this point.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? I have to restrict there's sometimes I want to put things out where I'll be like, oh, I can't be arsed with everyone
All
moaning
right, then
about.
what's the worst thing that you haven't put out?
No, sometimes it's just like I'm very unfiltered, to be fair. I don't hold back, but occasionally, like I'll want to do a video with someone or something like that, and I'll have to be like, probably shouldn't do a
what?
Like a smash or pass
Right,
with certain kinds of women and certain things like that. Like some ideas I've had, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you ever think that your creative ideas are less to do with YouTube and more just to do with your own sexual attractions?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the worst thing that's going to happen to me is if I do hit 1 million subscribers, because then that'll reaffirm like what I am, and it'll probably just encourage us to get. So I think a lot of people, what they do is they get success and then they change who they are almost. They try and get away from what made them who they are.
So at what point will you do that?
I think what I would do is do the opposite. It would just reaffirm
Inculcate yourself within sexism.
It would be like, now I know because right now I've got to try and get to a point where I can sustain the channel and make money off it and pay for better studios and all this sort of thing. But once I get to that point and I don't have to play the game anymore, I think I'll just get worse. I think I'll be more likely to do more offensive stuff. I think I'll do more what, instead of going down that clean road, I would do more what, who's that radio DJ I like in America? Howard Stern?
Howard Stern.
I would do more controversial stuff. I'll do worse stuff. I'll get more shit.
What's the best thing that you would want to do that you think is controversial?
Take for example something like Howard Stern used to do.
Do you want more porn stars?
So he would literally bring porn stars into his studio. He would get like a dildo, a vibrator or something, and he'd make them fuck themselves with it, and then he'd record their voice with it, and you wouldn't see what was going on. I don't think. Sometimes he would put it out what was going on, but sometimes you'd be listening on the radio to her doing herself with it, and he'd put it out there and just think it was the funniest thing ever. Now I'm not saying I would do that. But I'm saying I wouldn't be scared.
You're not averse to it.
I'm not scared of doing anything like that.
You're not averse
but right
to
now,
JMXing it.
But
JMX is the closest to Howard Stern on YouTube, really, isn't he?
No, he isn't, because there's no comedy behind it.
It's witty banter. It's
arguably. I mean, it depends what you're into. I'm not having a go at the kid because I've barely watched his stuff.
No.
But what I'm saying is, Howard Stern and JMX,
there couldn't be more poles apart. It's a joke. And so you'd then be in a situation where you would be a lonely old man with a lot of women around you.
How lonely would that make me then?
Pretty lonely.
Why?
Because you'd be like, oh, I found Buddhism or something.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do that, but I'm just saying, like, long term there is nothing I'm frightened to do. But right now I'm just getting steered by a lot. People don't understand that behind the scenes you have like people talking to you who they try. I mean, mainly you, trying to keeping us on the right road. And I understand that you're trying to give us good advice, but at the same time,
you think it's bad advice.
That arsehole, that class clown inside of us, I get carried away and I want to push the barriers. Like, there are other YouTubers out there.
Push other barriers.
There are other YouTubers out there who push the barriers, but I know Like, I think that people who have the cheeky sense of humour like I do, so like Will, Jack, who we've had on the show, people like that. What I'm saying is, I know I would take it further than any of them, but at the same time, I know that might not be a good idea.
Yeah, when you say might not, you mean that's not a good idea.
Maybe it isn't, but there's a part of us that wants to do it just to see what I can go, how far I can go.
And what would you achieve out of doing that?
I would have a laugh. It would make me have a laugh. That's what I'm trying to achieve ultimately, and be successful ideally. But what I'm saying is, if I ended up in a dapper laugh situation where I was getting a load of grief, not for the same reasons, because obviously I wouldn't make those kind of jokes or whatever.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if I ever had a situation where there was a newspaper against us, I would just revel in it. I wouldn't shy away. I would go head on and be like, yeah, I would do. I wouldn't do what PewDiePie did either and try and justify myself. I would act up as the villain. I would go with it. I'd be like, yeah, what about it, you cunts?
And then what if YouTube took you down?
I would. The thing is, once you get enough of a following,
here comes Vimeo.
There's always a way around things. Do you know what I mean? You just need to reach that peak where people enjoy. But it's the thing I've achieved with my audience. What I'm really happy about. Is that they know me. They know what me intentions. I think a lot of them have been here for a while now, so they know I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings particularly. Even when I take the piss out of Zoella and Alfie, if either of those two rang me up and said, right, you've hurt me feelings,
you go, can you say that again for the camera?
I don't know. I'm not actually trying to hurt their feelings. I don't even want them to see the videos. That's not what I'm aiming to do. I'm aiming to make people laugh.
Yeah.
That's all.
Do you think they have?
I don't give a fuck, to be honest.
What do you think they would think if they saw you sitting back and saying, yeah, Alfie's got a tiny dick?
I think that they might even laugh at it. I don't know, but I think...
What do you think they'd really do?
They'd probably be a bit annoyed, but then...
Annoyed?
But no, I find it hard to believe that they'd give a fuck with how much money they make. It's like...
So you think money makes them sort of untouchable?
Not untouchable, but money puts things into perspective. When you have as much... Just to put this in perspective, the kind of content I think I make better content than Alfie. Just putting that out there right now. I think I make much better content than him.
Did you see his caravan stuff?
I know I didn't. I don't want to. But the point I'm making is, it's for very different audiences, but I think, in general, what I do is better than him. I haven't made 1/10 of what he's made off of YouTube.
Not even 1/20th.
Maybe 1/50th.
Yeah.
Right? That's so much more money than I've made. So I don't think he should give a shit, personally, about what I'm doing.
Money don't make his world go round.
He's reaching out to a higher ground.
Yeah.
To a warm and peaceful place.
I can rest my weary face because we're living in a crazy maze of YouTube. So what would you do if you found out he was very upset by it?
Depends. If he was angry, I would tell him to go and fuck himself. If he was upset,
If he called you and he was like,
you know,
Brian, I didn't think to do this.
I don't know.
And you go, you sitting on a washing machine, mate.
I don't know. I don't know. My aim isn't to hurt anyone's feelings. I treat
going down the wrong way then.
I treat my words as pretty harmless in general. I'm saying things.
I won't shoot you in the head.
So I've seen people say things like things about me before in jokes.
I remember seeing. Did you ever see the True Potato?
Oh mate, people have had umpteen digs at me.
Yeah, the True Potato was not funny, but it was definitely an original idea. It was a potato.
But the thing is,
with a face.
There's a lot of people doing a lot of things. Loads and. I mean, the amount,
potato.
Yeah, right. The amount of true Mackhams there've been, bloody hell, out of 50. The point is, I don't take any of it to heart, and neither should they. No. People have to take a joke, especially if you're rich and you're balls deep in Zoella. So just take a fucking joke. Take a joke.
Why being balls deep in Zoella a benefit?
I mean, but she's attractive to many men out there. Many men would want to be with her.
Many men.
Yeah, she's a multi-millionaire, mate. You're killing the game. Alfie is living the dream here. Right. Make no mistake about it.
Okay.
He shouldn't give a fuck if I'm poking fun at him.
Right.
He should take it on the chin.
What if
and that's a very large Jimmy Hill chin that he's got there.
I think he's quite a pretty boy. Do you think he's pretty?
I wouldn't say he's exactly rough and rugged.
No.
Let's leave it at that. Me and him are definitely in different lanes.
Do you like anyone in that set? Because I quite like... The thing is, I watch some of Joe Sugg stuff. I think he's quite funny.
Yeah, I think I might have seen stuff that he's done that might be a little bit better than the rest of them. That does ring a bell.
He's quite witty. He's quite funny.
Yeah, I mean, if I was to bump into these guys, which I've got no doubt would probably happen in the future.
Some point. I mean, I wonder why you weren't invited to do the commentary where half of them are there.
Maybe that might have something to do with it. But to be fair, I will not change my content to fit in with other groups. I know that there's a lot of YouTubers that
Slough's a big place.
There's a lot of YouTubers that'll be at this, for example, the Sidemen match, right? And they, some of them might be thinking the exact same things I'm thinking. But I'm just saying it, and take me or leave me, I will always be the way I am.
We did have this conversation.
I'm not going to like. That's why the people that they have picked are perfect, because they fit right into that community.
So white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm so. Well,
what are you?
I don't know. I've got a lot of different bloodlines.
Yeah, as you keep telling me all the time.
William
got a bit
Wallace
of traveller
blood,
in me, blah blah blah. Yeah.
But yeah, mate, I'd rather just be who I am. Do you know what I mean?
But do you ever think that's hanging on to who you are? Do you ever think, what if you were to free yourself from who you are and you became someone else, like, say, True Geordie? No, like just, what if you let yourself free?
And started drinking Barocas every morning and had a security code on your fucking house to get in.
That's a false idea of freedom. What about the idea of just being free?
I am free right now. I literally get pissed and just shoot the shit with my mates and put it out. There's no guys. We're here today to do a video doing this, that, and the other. No, we're just doing what we're doing, mate. We're just doing what I want to do. I want to sit and have a few beers with my mate
with some great microphones
and chat some shit. I am literally the most free YouTuber out there, in my opinion, because I'm doing.
It's all free.
What I want to do. No, but some people, they box themselves into where they have to do certain kinds of videos.
Yeah.
Literally, they're.
Where's the football hangover?
The effort in making my videos only comes with travelling to get somewhere. There is no false, we have to make it harder today. I have to hit that crossbar. I have to do this, that, and the other. It's none of that shit. I don't have to do that.
Some people enjoy that.
Oh, of course, mate. That's why it gets a lot of views.
Like, that's why I like Chris MD. I feel like when I watch Chris MD, I feel like I'm like, oh, he's actually enjoying making these videos. Whereas other YouTubers,
Chris always looks happy, doesn't he?
He always looks happy.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Even in the morning, I remember having breakfast at the Wembley Cup when he got up and that,
and he was like, "Don't eat me."
Yeah, no, but he's quite a happy chap, isn't he?
He is. He's quite a positive guy.
Yeah, but
you would be if you lived on an island with just.
But yeah, but he has to do a certain kind of video to make his audience happy. But what I'm saying is the difference between me and other YouTubers. All right, the football hangover and the other sort of videos I do.
Bye.
The bribe, I would be acting that way without a camera. I often do silly accents to people in my personal life.
I thought you meant that you.
What I mean is, I'm that kind of character. I'm that critical. Like when I'm watching what's trending, if the camera wasn't there, I would be saying
exactly the same
all the same things
to yourself.
But in my head, I wouldn't. I'd maybe not say it out loud. But that's the difference between my what's trending and a lot of the other reaction stuff out there. It's live, and I'm literally just saying it as it's happening.
It's like Sky Sports.
But with me podcast, I would chat to you lads. We wouldn't have the cameras around, but I'd be saying the same things.
You'd be sat in a bunker.
What I'm saying is, I am as real as I can be on YouTube by comparison to other people.
And you feel like you're on your way to being realer.
I feel like, the more successful I get, the more encouragement it's going to give us to hold less back and to be even more. What that may do is cause problems, because some people might be like, I don't really want to be on True Geordie's podcast, not because I've got a problem with him, but he said that about this YouTuber and he did that on this show and he's not brand safe. And I know I'm headed in that direction, and I'll have to accept if some of my mates do less and less with us because of that reason. But hopefully I'll be making that much money, it'll not matter. Fingers crossed. Yeah. So far, not so good. Yeah, I said, a third of what I usually make.
I wish Jimmy would come back on.
YouTube is struggling right now.
Cash in.
Jimmy doesn't bring views like that, mate.
Jimmy brings huge views.
Jimmy brings a lot. But
Jimmy's an ex-US men's national team player.
I know
Is there something wrong with you? Do you not get this?
Jimmy's not that kind of guy.
Do you not get the formula?
Jimmy is an unreal bloke. Just an absolute legend.
Jimmy is real. If anything, Jimmy's
unreal to me.
So real.
Unreal to me means extra special.
Too real.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He's actually one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, Jimmy Conrad.
Yeah.
Do you know when I talk about that bloke, I get a good feeling like he's a proper good bloke.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
You get that vibe. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like you sort of feel like,
just when you talk about him, because he's actually a good person.
Yeah. Do you ever walk into a room and people go, "Oh, we're just talking about you"? Or
I don't like it when that happens because I always think
shh.
you always do that. No, I don't
did
like
that once.
being
The CEO of a company that we work for, he didn't like it.
That's a true story.
I went, shh, he's coming, and he went,
What?
And I was like, oh, don't talk about him like that. And then he left the room, and I went, who is that? And they said, it's the CEO of the company.
And what did you say? And I got his name wrong as well the whole time.
I think I did actually. Yeah. Nice guy though. Nice guy.
All right.
What a weird random podcast.
Our podcasts are getting weirder and weirder, and if you're not enjoying them, I do apologise, but new studio, we couldn't really have a guest for the first one in case all the equipment went tits up. Lawrence is very tired, so we're going to have a little break right now.
Yeah, and I'm going to go and edit some more stuff, and then
we're going to have another guest on who's
going to be great.
Very, very interesting.
Who is it? Just say it. He's coming.
This guy is a 22-year-old poker world champion.
He's a multi-millionaire.
He's a multi-millionaire. I get good guests on this show. Say what you like, most of the time.
Is this a podcast or a pitch?
I want them to come back on the next one.
No, I'm just saying to him. When
this
he
will be
comes in,
later in the week.
Mr. Poker.
Everything has to be all the time, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I'm just thinking, do we try and get a little bit of...
Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully you've enjoyed this.
50 grand?
If you haven't. Also, do us a favour. Oh, it doesn't matter.
No, what?
No, I always struggle to title these ones because they're always such random bollocks.
Well, how are you supposed to ask them for the title after the videos?
Yeah, I've just realised that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the title that I did think of, whatever it was.
It's
in the
probably going to
thumbnail.
be like fat 4-year-old or fat kids.
Anyway, that is the end of the podcast.
True Geordie.
This is the True Geordie. Hope you've enjoyed it. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Fuck's sake.
True Geordie.